Well, you often hear famous or wealthy people saying they serve on charity boards as, a board of director. But what does that really mean, and can just anybody do it? Lisa Dietlin, a philanthropic advisor, joins us with some ways to make sure you have a successful experience as a board member. Lisa, thanks for coming in.
Not a problem, thanks.
So how does someone go about doing this? And also, I guess you should really keep in mind it's not just a title. You've got to put a lot of work behind that.
Absolutely. Joining a board of directors is a serious responsibility. There are three primary things you're responsible for. The first is the financial obligations of the organization. You got to make sure the bills are paid. That does mean you're raising money. The second is the legal obligation to make sure you're operating within the law. And the third obligation is to think about, are you the chief supporter or cheerleader of the organization? Are you having fun? Are you telling your friends and your neighbors about this organization?
Now, there's also a lot of time commitment, too. It's not something you should really take lightly. So I serve on a few boards, and it is something that requires a lot of your time, and you have to be committed.
Absolutely, you have to be committed. The first thing to realize when you join a board is that you're not going to be doing the day-to-day operations, your oversight and your governance. So that could be a lot of meetings, especially if you're on that bylaws committee where you're repeatedly meeting to edit those bylaws. It could be seen that you're actually spending a lot of time and maybe not getting a lot of benefit back from it. And the third thing to remember is that both your time and your dollars are needed. Volunteers give their time, donors give their money, board members give both. So if this seems like a lot to a person to jump into, I often say join a committee.
And that's really a good way to kind of get your feet wet and really look into exactly what the board's about or the organization is about, right?
Absolutely, because a committee, it could either be a standing committee, maybe a governance committee, maybe an oversight committee, or it could be the gala committee or the walkathon committee. So there's a couple of different ways to get involved and see, is this really where I want to spend my time? Because often I counsel my clients and I tell them this should be one of your top 3 charitable organizations. If you're going to invest your time and serve on the board of directors, you need to make this one of your top 3 priorities.
Now, besides, of course, feeling really great about helping those in need, you also get some personal benefits by serving in boards through the contacts you make, right?
Absolutely. And that's one thing that we don't talk about a lot, but that we should. There's networking opportunities. When you join a board, you're often put with a group of people that you might not otherwise have access to, people in your community that you might not have seen before or even known. There's also business opportunities. I've seen people sitting beside each other and they're at a board meeting, they're kind of cold, and then they're realizing all of a sudden, oh my gosh, we could do business together. We could have this opportunity and we could both make some money. And the third reason is because you're changing the future of your community. You're really going to have a long-lasting impact on the future of the organization, the children, the people served.
Lisa, again, thanks so much for all of your great insight.
Thank you.
And if you'd like some information for Lisa's top picks to become a great board member, remember CBS 2 is always on at cbs2chicago.com. Just click on Morning News. Kristen?